Welcome to the Accredited Investor. I'm Scott Smith, and I'm joined by Bryan Smith. And on this channel, we're going to explore the ideas and the structures and the long-term thinking that shape private markets, family wealth, and alternative investments. Always with an education first, no hype approach. And today we're going to talk about what an accredited investor is. An accredited investor is just a legal definition. It's not a label or a badge. It's really defined by the SEC, and it's not defined by us as advisors or our firms, but what it does is it determines which type of investment someone is allowed to evaluate and access. It's really about eligibility, not superiority. Accredited investor just means the rules allow you to invest in certain types of investments. Now, in order to be an accredited investor, there are certain income or net worth thresholds. Right, why don't you kind of walk us through those and give us some idea what those are?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's important for people to realize that they may have become an accredited investor just naturally by the growth of their investments, or with today, we have a lot of small business owners that will become eligible to be an accredited investor, a lot of dual incomes, right, that will hit these income thresholds that will qualify you to be an accredited investor. The other thing that happens a lot, it happened quite a bit with our firm, is as assets grew over time, you hit that threshold of net worth, right? Now we're talking about not your primary residence, but if you have $1 million or more of investable assets, you're typically meeting that first tier of you are an accredited investor.
Great.
And it's important for people to understand that once they do that, it's good to get informed ahead of time about what those types of things are.
And many of our clients who are business owners, right, who own a business, maybe they have not only a business but personal wealth. Almost all of them tend to be accredited investors, probably even before they know it. Especially nowadays with dual income households, right? So the question really becomes, after you've decided if you're an accredited investor, or even if you're not yet, how do these rules? Why do these rules exist? The reality is that accredited investor status is really to make sure that if you're looking to invest in the private market and in private investments, that you can understand them and you have the wherewithal, if you will, to invest in them. So private investments, they tend to be more complex. They tend to be more liquid, and they're really harder to value. So the rules are kind of designed to limit participation to investors who can absorb risk. Okay. You want some type of an informed, decision making.
Yes, that's exactly right. And I think you pointed out a really, really important aspect, the illiquidity of the investments, right? So just because you have access to them, you have to be comfortable with what these types of investments have as hold-up periods, lockdowns, liquidity risk, entrance periods, exit periods.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to understand that those things change as you move into these investments.
No doubt about it. It's really about capacity and sophistication, not really about protecting from loss. The reality is that it's not a good or a bad thing. We know from the public markets, which a lot of our clients invest in, right? Public markets are intended to be more simple. And there's a lot more liquidity to them, where private markets, they're much more complex, and you have to have a little more patience. So the actual obligation, and this is a big one that we're slowing down for, is being accredited doesn't mean that you should invest in alternative investments. We have clients that are accredited investors that have chosen not to invest in alternative investments. But it does mean that you have the ability to explore. It doesn't mean you have to change your portfolio. It doesn't mean you're behind if you're not doing it. Some people looked at them and said, it's not for me. It just means simply that you can explore. So take us through, we talked a little bit about private and public markets. Brian, take us through, because eligibility creates options. Tell us a little bit more about the difference between public and private markets.
Yeah, so I think it's important for everybody to realize that we're all used to this public market, right? Stocks and bonds, and majority of us getting into investments, we go instantly to that public market, right? We're watching the Dow Jones, the S&P, small caps or large caps. And the importance of that is you can trend and see where they're going. You can get in and out of a lot of those investments within the same day. When you start moving into this private market, and where we've seen this investment grow, is you get into the situation where you can't really see what's going on as much. It's not that they're hiding anything like that, but it's not as accessible to the day-to-day process. So as the market has changed and led more into these private markets, it has opened up this bigger arena for accredited investors to get into. Like we said before, they often have entrance periods and exit periods, right? Longer timelines than people are used to.
So no daily don't know daily pricing very well.
Absolutely. I mean, some of these investments price once a year, right? With the ability not be able to get out of them for 6, 8, 12 months, depending on what those things. We've got some of those investments that have a 5 and 10-year lockup period. That changes, your comfortableness about what's happening with these investments, right? You don't get that same excitement to see them every single day.
So neither are better, public or private. It's just that they serve different roles, correct?
That's exactly right. It's all about asset classes. As our clients continue to grow, you grow into more and more asset classes to be able to diversify your investment. And as you have more ability to access more classes, these asset classes come with some different rules. So we want to make sure that people understand that they are different. They're not good or bad, right? Everybody has their own feeling of risk and return. But it does give you an opportunity to see what else is out there.
So let's talk really about how we talk to our clients about education, and how we talk to them about being an accredited investor in private markets. The reality is that private markets require a lot of things. They require more due diligence, right? They require clear expectations of how long maybe the money's going to be tied up or the risk involved. And they have to be comfortable with the uncertainty in this market. They have to feel comfortable with the uncomfortable, if you will. And what's going to happen is this channel on the website is going to exist, and we're going to talk about this to slow people down, not speed them up, right? We want to make sure that our clients have the understanding of what's going on. Good decisions are made before capital is committed. So
Right.
tell us a little bit about, what this channel covers, and a little bit more about the process.
Yeah, I think what you said there is so important. We want to get the education about these investments out. So this website and this YouTube channel that you're watching this on right now is really designed to offer that education. Without any conversation about specific investments, maybe styles of investments, yes, but we're not looking to sell anything. We're looking to educate our clients, educate those out there that are interested in learning more about it. So if you continue to watch this, you're going to hear us talk about, maybe cryptocurrencies or talk about different private equity holdings or private debt closings. But what you're going to be able to do is really get a good understanding about what these are bringing to them. So if you're interested in continuing to learn more, we'd like you to click and join our community and continue to watch our shows because we're looking forward to try and educate people out there in the market.
That's right, right. We're looking for deeper education. We're looking for thoughtful next steps. We're looking at making sure that we have ongoing insights into the market. We want to make sure that everybody understands there's no obligation, there's no pressure,
No salesiness.
just learning. If this topic resonates, we built this website and this YouTube as a place for you to keep learning. So we want to thank you for watching today. If you want to go deeper, as we said earlier, visit us at theaccreditedinvestor.com, where we share additional education and resources for the accredited investor. And if this conversation was helpful, subscribe here on YouTube. We're going to be publishing more content like this on a regular basis. Thank you very much.
Have a great day.